Good morning. Good morning. My name's Ronnie Glover. I'm the candidate for governor of Florida. This will probably be the last time I discuss this, but Governor Walz and the mayor in Minneapolis, they were wrong by way of leadership. They understood that their citizens were not okay with having ICE there and that their citizens were doing things. Leadership says that I prepare you for what can happen. To understand that they had a law on the books that created the intent by simply saying that, hey, you absolutely have a Second Amendment right to carry, to conceal carry. But under this law, that right's taken away. That's practically every protest. You cannot show up to a protest with a weapon because of ambiguity. That's why I've been so serious about how you keep perceiving things. You're looking at it from a morality standpoint, while while these other individuals are looking at it from how can we lawfully say that we're good to go. The law stated it. When three or more persons assembled disturb the public peace. That's the ambiguity. I'm reading from literally 609.71. What public peace was disturbed? You can make that up as an argument. Do you understand what I mean now? Hey, they were there screaming. Hey, you walked up and you held the camera to their face, and there were three or more people there. Now, let's keep going because of the ambiguity of the law. By an intentional act or threat of unlawful force or violence to a person or property, and a death results in one of the persons is armed with a dangerous weapon. That's why they keep saying that the person came there to do wrong because of the ambiguity that you get to argue legally. Now, this doesn't, they should have told their citizens, if you are going to protest, do not bring a weapon because we have a law on the books that literally will automatically make you a felon. And let's get to the point. Let's look at this. That person is guilty of riot first degree and may be sentenced to imprisonment for not more than 20 years or to a payment of a fine of not more than $35,000 or both. Do you understand why leadership's got to do better? Do you understand now that if you have laws on the books and you know that there's about to be an issue, there are people in Minneapolis who say, hey, I just bought a rifle. I saw a person say, I just bought a rifle because I need to be careful. Hey, listen here. If there is something that is considered a protest and you didn't sign up, like log it so the state knew and all of these things happen and you show up there, in Minneapolis, 609.71 says that you're about to be held accountable. Felony type. 20, $35,000 in 20 years. It's up to your government to make sure that they explain these things. Now, there's a million things that he could have did. He could have said, hey, let's quickly convene our Congress really fast because 609.71 is going to become an issue for my citizens. They didn't do that. This is why I keep telling you, I'm non-party affiliated because when I look at stuff like this, and I gotta believe that when you're in these positions and y'all vote these people in, that you think that they're smart, you think that they're trying to do the right thing by you. Well, then they probably knew this law. So why they didn't tell you that, hey, by the way, showing up to what you consider a peaceful protest can be considered immediately a riot if you show up with your Second Amendment right. Why not just tell your citizens so they understand this? So there is no ambiguity in the action that's about to be had. That's all I'm saying. Where is the leadership? It's not there. Same way in the state of Florida. No one's talked to citizens about our riot act, except for me. I brought it up yesterday. I showed you that, hey, you better be looking at 870.01 to find out if you show up to a protest with a weapon. Now, goodness for us, you gotta do things. You gotta literally, I'll read it. A person commits a riot if he or she willfully participates in a violent public disturbance involving an assembly of three or more persons acting with common intent to assist each other in violent and disorderly conduct, resulting in, hear this, injury to another person, damage to property, or imminent danger of injury to another person or damage to a property. Do you understand? You can show up to a protest in the state of Florida with a weapon. You can do that. And that doesn't automatically mean that you're doing something. It does in Minneapolis. Do you see how leadership has got to come out and let its citizens know before its own laws work against the people? Before the laws that you have on the book work against you. This is why I'm telling you. When I tell you that I am the governor for the people, this means that if I know something's about to happen or I foresee something's going to happen, you're going to hear me explain to you, hey, because we have this law on the books, let me tell you how this law can hurt you, how this law can affect you, how the rhetoric that you start to hear that doesn't match that doesn't match your moralities, standards, and values is something that we may need to look at. But as long as this law is on the books, you need to understand your rights as a citizen and how you can be giving them up because of the laws that are on the books. This is why I'm trying to reach so many people. This is why understanding leadership is not just we voted this person in and that makes them a leader. Wrong. If you have ever served in the military, you know that rank doesn't make you a leader. That's a value, that's a characteristic that comes with who that person is, who that character is. You cannot teach people leadership, and you definitely cannot elect leaders. Leaders are born. Something about a leader is just there. Something is just there. I have known plenty of people in my 22 years in the military that have been way better leaders than the people who are who are put in those higher positions. The position doesn't make the leader. What the person does with that position and how it emulates with the people makes them a leader. The leadership failed its citizens. The leadership failed its citizens. The leadership failed in all of us. Let's just be realistic. That's why I'm trying to tell you that I'm running to give you access. So when you don't see that leadership, you can fire these people. When you don't see the leadership, when you don't get the warning, when you don't get the understanding, you can fire them. That's why I'm running for governor of Florida. But you guys have got to start helping us understand and paying attention to these things. It is more to being a leader than just trying to go out and say that, hey, I want to do right by the people. Then when you get in office, you don't do right by the people. Start looking at them. Start recognizing. This is why I don't have any trust for Republicans or Democrats, because somebody needs to be explaining the laws. And clearly, even with all this happening, even with everything that's happened, look at everything that has happened. Look how long it's going to take to get an answer to something, right? Like someone has to first bring this up in court. Then judges have to, by law, decide if what happened was right. That's when you're going to start seeing 609.71 become a conversation, if it even ever gets there. If it even ever gets there. Because no matter what citizens talk about, how are you going to bring this up? Somebody's got to pay a lawyer to bring this up somewhere. They're not working for free. I am. I'm sitting up every day helping you. Check out my next video too, because I'm going to show y'all how we better be careful in the state of Florida. We better be careful because things are coming. And if you are not prepared, if I am not preparing you, then you need to tell me that, hey, you need to do a better job at preparing me. Go to my webpage, glover2026.com. See how well I'm preparing you to make sure that you see the focuses and the things that I'm focused on, because it's there in my research. I'm showing you what I'm going to directly impact and change that is going to help you. Leadership is here. You just got to decide if you want it.